Welcome back everyone to the Blender Creator course, Stylized 3D Models, and that's where we left it off. Alright, so now we've got this, let's actually extrude this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the whole thing with L, I'm going to press E and extrude it out, just back to there. Now you can see that's a solid object. Now what we can do is we can come down, we can press Alt, Shift and click, just grab this ready, press Tab, Control A, all transforms, right click, origin to geometry, and the reason I'm doing that is because I want to bevel this off. So now if I press Control B, I can actually bevel this off and create a pretty nice window. Now the thing is, when you're actually doing something like this, you want to make sure now where the windowsill is going to come. So you can see at the moment, the windowsill has to go all the way back here. We don't particularly want that. So what I want to press is Tab, and I want to move this window a little bit forward like so. And you can see now we've got a really nice edge around there. Now the other problem we're going to have is once we bevel this off, this is actually no longer going to be sharp. So I'm going to show you how to fix that as well. You can also see at the moment, if I right click, Shade Auto Smooth, now it's looking a lot better. Now the one thing is, I want to make this a little bit different. In other words, I want to make sure that this part here comes back into here. At the moment it's too far pushed out, and I also want to give it a little bit of variation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Tab, I'm going to press Alt H, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the front of this like so, pull it back a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control R, 2, left click, right click. I'm going to come in now, grab the front of this and pull it out just a little bit, and now you can see it gives it a really nice look to it. Alright, so now we've got that bit. What we want to do now is we want to have 3 little blocks going around the top, and the other thing is I probably want to pull this part out as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come into this part, I'm going to press Control R, 2, left click, right click, down to the bottom one, Control R, 2, left click, right click. Now you can see on the bottom one we have a problem, and the problem is it's not going all the way around. Why is that? Because this again is an N-gon. So if I come into this, press Shift H, you can see that we've got how many sides? A lot of sides on this. Now to fix that, we could right click, come down, and face select, we can right click, come down, triangulate faces, and then right click, tries to quads. And you can see that actually fixes it. The problem is though, when I move this out, it's not really going to be right. If I come in and move this out, you can see we've got really bad topology here, and we don't really want that. So another way to fix this, instead of actually doing that, is to come in with our knife tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide everything else out of the way. So I'm going to press Shift H, 7 to go over the top, and then I'm going to press Tab, and just make sure I'm on this so you can see here. I'm going to press, let's actually go over the top. In fact, before we do that, what we'll do is we'll just press Delete, Limit to Dissolve, and that gets rid of those 2 marks that I put on there. 7 to go over the top, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it onto Vertex Select. I'm going to press K, grab this vertex, press the A button, and that then is going to send it all through to there, which is great. That's what I want. Press the Enter button, and then let's do this one, K, grab this one, A, grab it all the way through to there, Enter. Now we do have one problem in that this now doesn't have them on the back, so we can come through and do it on the back as well. So we could either do that or re-extrude it out, but I think coming over the top, pressing K, grabbing this, A, doesn't take too long, so we might as well just do it that way. And you can see now we just need to join those up as well. So Control 7, go over the top, K, A, drop it in place, like so. Now let's finish this off by grabbing each of these, pressing the J button, coming to this one, pressing the J button, and now going back around the front. So let's press 7 to go back around the front. And now when we press Control R, we'll be able to bring in a nice couple of edge loops like so. Let's press Alt H and bring back the other part. Let's press Tab, press Alt H again to bring back everything. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my window. So all of my window, all of the bottom, and my man, press Alt H, Shift H, hide everything else out of the way, and now we can carry on working with this window. So the idea of all that was just so we can pull this out a little bit. So these 2 here, so we can pull them out just a little bit, like so, making that window look a little bit nicer. Now what I want to do is I want to put those blocks in place that I talked about. So we want 1 on the top and 1 on each side of here. So the way I'm going to do it is by using the topology I've already got. So we can see here, we'll have a nice block here, although it'll probably be a little bit chunky. So let's think about this. Can I press Control R, left click, right click, Control R, left click, right click, and make one out of this instead. I think that's probably going to be a bit better. And then make one maybe out of this one and this one. Let's give it a try. We can make them smaller if we need to as well. So there is always that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this one, Alt Shift click, and then I'm going to come to, let's say, this one here, Alt Shift click, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press Shift D just to duplicate them. Now you won't see anything happen at the moment. They have been duplicated, but you can't see anything. So what I want to do is I want to press P, selection, and now you can see they've been duplicated. And if I actually come in and hide this main window, this is what we're actually left with. I'm now going to come to these parts, press Ctrl A, all transforms, right click, set origin to geometry, press Alt H to bring back my window. Now at the moment, we're actually having a problem where we're bringing everything back at the same time. We don't really want that. So what we want to do is grab your window, grab your guy, grab the bottom part of your window, and instead of pressing Shift H, you're going to press the little question mark next to the Shift key, and that then is going to isolate everything out. Now if I press Alt H, you'll see nothing happens, and that's what we want because we don't want to bring everything back. Again, we can come to our guy, and now we can hide our guy out of the way, press Alt H, and only our guy will come back because we're using isolation and not hiding something. So let's actually hide our guy out of the way. Let's come back to our window now, and we can see we do have a problem in that it didn't actually isolate the other things out of the way. So I'm just going to press Alt H, and I'm going to hide out the window, and these are the parts that I actually want. So I want to, first of all, give these some depth, so then I can hide everything else out of the way. So now we've actually resettled our transformations. Let's come over to our modifiers, add modifier, generate, and we're going to bring in one that's called solidify. Now, if I press Alt H, now I can see what I'm actually doing. That's much better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift select this, press the little question mark, and there we go. Hide the guy out of the way with H, and here we are. Now we can actually work on these parts, and what we're going to do is we're going to increase the thickness of our actual solidify, and I'm also going to make sure that I've got even thickness on. So you can see once I put even thickness on, it's going to make them even thicker. I want to then just come to this, bring it back into place using the Shift button to get the size that I actually want. And I'm thinking something like that size is looking pretty nice. So now we've got a nice bevel on there. We've got these that follow the bevel as well, and it's all looking pretty good. All right, so I'm happy with that. Now the final stage is to actually create now the actual glass and the frame on the inside. So let's do that next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to this part, L, P, selection, just to split it off, Control A, all transforms, right click, set origin to geometry, and then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull this into place where I actually want it. So I'm thinking I want it somewhere around here to start with. So I've got some actual edge that I can actually work with. You can see I can pull it out up to this point. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press tab, and the problem you're going to have is once I start inserting this, it's probably going to make it harder to make those, little panes that go across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert and then split. So I'm going to come in, grab all of these. I'm hoping that it's grabbed all of these. There might be one on the inside. Let's have a look. So we'll use the X-ray as well. So now we can see that we can see on the inside of it with this button without going into wireframe. And that's basically what I actually wanted. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press delete. I'm going to limit to dissolve this, and now if we go to X-ray, you can see this is just one pane now, which is going to make it easier to work with. And now what I can do is I can go around to the front, and I can press the I button, and I can bring this in and make that beautiful frame that's going to go around here. Now, don't worry if you haven't gone in further enough with the eye, or you don't want to press S, you can press Alt S as well, and that will bring it back, or you want to press the S button to bring it in a little bit more if you want to. All right, so I'm happy with how that looks. Now what I'm going to do is, as I said, I'm going to separate this away from it. So I'm going to press the Y button, and then this now, as you can see, is separated. Just pressing G there, and I'll just drop it back into place. Now what I want to do is I want to separate out now these over here. And the reason is I want to separate this is because when I extrude these out, I want these to have that little edge in there and make them look a little bit nicer. So what I'm going to do is just grab the bottom, press Y like so, and then I'm going to press L, going all the way around, and then what I'm going to do is extrude it. So I'm going to press E and extrude it out up to the edge of here. Maybe I've gone a little bit too far there. I think I'll just go back just a tad just to give us that little relief there. And that's looking better. Okay, so now we can go back to this part here. Now what I want to do on this, if I press 1, is I want some bars going across my window. And I want some bars coming across this like this and one down. So to do that, what we need to do is we need to, on the next lesson, probably use either our knife tool to create some topology to make this all possible. I think we can make the downwards one. It's just wherever we want to put these ones going across. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed that and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.